DVD-Forum.at meldet sich ein weiteres Mal vom 10. Weekend of Horrors in Bottrop. Diesmal wird neben mir gleich Danielle Harris Platz nehmen, die wir kennen aus Halloween 4 und 5 sowie aus den Rob Zombie Remakes und aus vielen, vielen anderen Filmen auch. So thanks a lot for joining us here. And the first question I want to ask you is, your movie debut was Halloween 4. So you were a child actress in a horror movie.
Yes.
What's that like?
It's fun, actually. People would think it's scary, but everybody around you is trying to make sure that you're not afraid. So a lot of the fear is taken away and you're just excited to be staying up really late and, I don't know, pretending that it's Halloween and being on location where we were shooting in Utah. So getting to get out of school and just fun, kind of dumb things that other 10-year-olds like.
Were you allowed to watch the movie afterwards?
Yeah, my mom, I'm in all the scenes that are pretty gruesome, and there really isn't. There's no sex scenes in Halloween 4, and it's very. There's really not much blood either. So the aftermath you see a lot of the blood, but during it you don't really. It's not a slasher movie. It's a psychological thriller with some slasher elements, but it's not like he's not chopping up bodies into little pieces or mutilating women by any means. So. Times have changed over the years, so back in the 80s I was allowed to watch.
Speaking of times have changed, you've also been in the Rob Zombie remakes, and what was it like for you to work with Rob Zombie?
He's great. When I found out that he was directing, that's the reason why I wanted to be part of the movie, because everybody was remaking, original films, and I was like, oh gosh. But I'm a big fan of his work, so, and I felt like Annie was appropriate for me. I don't think that would have been right. Originally, someone said, oh, I want you to be Laurie, and I was like, that's just weird, because I'm Laurie's daughter, essentially, so that's very strange. Even weirder that I was actually then playing my mother's best friend, going back, you know what I mean, as Annie,
Yeah.
So it's a little bit weird, but I think he's great.
So when you compare the two of the 4 Halloween movies you've been in, the old ones and the new ones, what are the key differences for you?
I think times have just changed. I think that, there's so much effects and CGI, and movies are just different than they used to be. So everything back then was for the most part, practical effects, at least in the Halloween series. So I think kids are overstimulated nowadays, so they kind of have to do that, otherwise they're not phased. Where back then, that was really creepy. You didn't need to do it. Didn't need to be as big as it needs to be nowadays.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference.
What are the kinds of horror movies you personally enjoy the most?
I enjoy the ones with story. I'm not really big into the, fantasy, sort of Twilight-y, like fake stuff that can really happen is stuff that I really like. And I'm also a really big fan of the older stuff. That's kind of my go-to. If I do watch genre stuff, it's usually stuff in the 80s, like Poltergeist, and or 70s, The Shining, or kind of that, Gremlin stuff that I grew up being afraid of is stuff that I continue to watch as an adult.
And you've also been in Michael Biehns' The Victim. Yes. What can you tell us about that movie?
It's great. It was Michael's directorial debut, and he's a really good friend of mine, and Jennifer's one of my best friends, and actually she produced and starred in the movie that I directed. So, and Michael's also in the movie that I directed, Among Friends. So we switched off. So I did them a favor and came on and had a gnarly little opening scene in that movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but had a bit to do in that. So I got to get them back in my movie.
And about Among Friends, what can you tell people who may haven't heard a bit about Among Friends? What can you tell them about the story and the movie in general?
It's sort of like a la April Fool's Day. It's like Clue meets Very Bad Things meets Heathers. It's got sort of an 80s feel to it. It's set in the backdrop is actually in the 80s, so that's an era that I just seem to really like. And it's a murder mystery party gone wrong. Really demented, twisted, dark comedy with a pretty intense twist right around about halfway through the movie that takes you all the way straight down to the bottom. So it switches. So it's kind of a feel-good movie, and you kind of know that something's just not quite right, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And then it's sort of a bit of a roller coaster ride. And AJ Bowen is also in. He was in Hatchet 2 with me, and he's done The Horrible Way to Die and a bunch of other genre films. And Jennifer Blanc, and Michael Zabi-Jens actually is also in. He directed The Divide and The Farm. He's going to be directing, and Michael and I and Jennifer are also all in next year. So we're making each other very busy lately.
That's cool. You mentioned Hatchet. You'll also be in Hatchet 3.
Yes.
And what can you tell us about that?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's not so much.
Yes, mum's the word. We're sworn to secrecy. You know what to expect with an Adam Green movie. He wrote it. B.J. McDonald directed it. So it's bigger and badder than the last.
Okay, so I say thanks a lot for joining us. I hope you have fun on the Weekend of Horrors, and we'll see you again.
Awesome.